Hey, all you minions and mercenaries, it's time for episode 1 of Behind the Heroes. That's guess what I'm just going to call this right now. We're going to be taking an in-depth look of the Heroes of the Storm. As you can see on your screens right now, we're going to be starting out with Jimmy Raynor. Probably, that's a good place to start because he's going to be the one you're going to be most familiar with. You're going to be playing through the tutorial with him, so I thought it'd be a good place to start. And there he is in his nice marine suit. You don't see him that often in the StarCraft games, although you do occasionally. And let's just kind of glance through the abilities he has. He's got Penetrating Round, which fires a shot, damaging and knocking back enemies in a line. Inspire, which increases the attack speed for himself and nearby allies, a great ability to use. And Adrenaline Rush is a passive ability that automatically heals Raynor when he's low on health. Then he's got a combat trait, which just reduces the ability of his cooldowns by killing enemies. And he's got 2 heroic abilities. You only can pick 1 heroic ability per game when you hit level 10, but he's got Hyperion, where he calls down his good old flagship to do a strafing run on the ground, which was somewhat recently nerfed. Hyperion used to be, good. I mean, sick good. It would just take down enemies. It would destroy buildings, but they toned it down a bit. It doesn't seem to shoot quite as much. It spreads out its fire a little bit more instead of focusing down. I guess it still works. And his other one is Raynor's Raiders, where he calls in 2 cloaked banshees. I don't know why they'd be cloaked, because they're usually going to be attacking anyhow, so there's no reason for them to be cloaked. Let's just take a quick look at the skins you can have. I mean, you got this normal skin. Apparently, I've just killed Raynor. There we go. He's got a couple of different tints you can use on that, but that's the standard one. Then we've got Patriot Raynor, a very popular one, I'm sure. And also comes in different color varieties. And finally, this one's actually pretty new. It's Commander Raynor. Dropping the armor, just picking up a big old rifle and getting right into combat with... That's an interesting outfit. Looks like there's something... Oh, I thought there was something on his shirt. It's just a buckle on his chest harness or whatever it is he's wearing there. And one more like that. So actually, let's stick with this one. And let's kind of just give him a bit of a trial run. Kind of show off what he can do in combat. As soon as this loads up, we'll probably build up some talents first. Let's just level this thing up way up to 20 just so we can kind of get a build going. 20 is going to be the max level where you're going to actually have traits to choose from. So what we got? Hero gains 2 attack damage every level gain. It's a pretty good one for pure DPS. Basic attack against structures, destroy 2 ammo and deal 10% additional damage, which is good if you're going to try to push lanes, I suppose. But I don't know if that's the best use for Raynor. Sometimes you just need DPS. And these are not, apparently, I have these unlocked, but apparently you can't use them in the practice tryout mode. Increase the healing of Adrenaline Rush, and Bribe. Killing enemy minions in your lane to gain stacks of Bribe. Use 20 stacks to bribe target mercenaries, instantly defeating them, and does not work on golems. Most things don't work on golems because, well, golems are really powerful, and that would be overpowered.
Choose a talent.
So we'll just pick the pure DPS. We'll just go pure DPS here for right now. Increase Raynor's basic attack range by 20%. Every 10 seconds, your basic attack deals 50% additional damage, and basic attacks reduce the cooldown of focus attack by a second. Which one's focused attack? I guess it's the... I don't know. Vampiric Assault, basic attacks heal you for 15% of the damage done. Quick Fingers doubles the cooldown reduction of lead from the front, which is his combat trait. So we just want to go for DPS here. Heavy Ammo Penetrating Round knocks back further and deals 100% more damage, extra damage to structures. That sounds pretty good. Raynor gains 10% movement speed when casting Inspire, plus 5% additional for each hero he inspires. Seems pretty good if you're in a lot of team fights. Fighter Flight Adrenaline Rush cleanses all movement impairing effects and makes Raynor unstoppable for 2 seconds. Sounds pretty good. And Searing Attacks activate to increase basic attack damage by 50% for 5 seconds. Attacks cost 20 mana per hit. Okay, so increase your damage, but it will use up your mana faster, and mana is something you have to pay attention to. At least for some heroes. Some heroes don't even have a mana bar. So we'll just use that one. Then here's his heroic abilities at level 10. We'll start off with Hyperion, but we'll go back around and show you Raynor's Raiders too. What we got? At level 13, we get Spell Shield. Periodically reduce damage received from hero abilities by 50%. Stores up to 2 charges. Giant Killer basic attacks against enemy heroes deal an additional 1.5% of the target's maximum health and damage. Art of War, nearby enemies have their attack and movement speed lowered by 10%. That's interesting. And activated Rush, Raynor can cast Adrenaline Rush at any time. Doing so reduces the cooldown by 15 seconds. So that makes this sort of into an active heal. I kind of like that. That's not bad. We'll go for Giant Killer right now. Level 16, we got Executioner. Basic attacks deal 40% damage against slowed, rooted, and stunned targets, which would be good if you've got a lot of control guys in your group. Malfurion kind of can do some control, but it's very limited. Cluster Round. Penetrating Round does 10% more damage to each additional target hit, and the width increases by 50%. It's good AoE there. Bullseye. The first enemy hit with Penetrating Round is stunned for 1 second and takes 50% more damage. And Berserk. Activate to increase your attack speed by 50% and movement speed by 10% for 4 seconds. So pretty good probably for team fights, or when you just need an extra kick of DPS for whatever you're doing. So we'll do that. And then the level 20 talents, which are the Storm talents, which are kind of like the heroic the heroic talents, where they give you a pretty good power boost at that level. So we got Fury of the Storm. Basic attacks bounce twice between nearby enemies for 50% damage. Bolt of the Storm. Activate to teleport to a nearby location. Battle Hyperion. Hyperion now hits each target up to 2 times per volley. Every 4 seconds, Hyperion will fire its Yamato cannon at enemy structures. Sounds pretty good. And Hell's Angels. Banshees remain cloaked while attacking and fire 1 more missile each volley. Oh, so the cloak will come in use then. Although I usually find trying to attack those things when they come out as fuelless anyhow. You just either stay there and fight or pull back and come around when they're done. So we'll just do Fury of the Storm. Then we're going to pull out, let's toggle those minions out there so we can start this attack, and Malfurion will catch up with us eventually. And let's start with Penetrating Round. You see that does a nice good knockback, and then we'll Inspire to kind of just get everyone moving faster. And it looks like Arthas here is not faring too well, but it looks like he might get away unless I can Penetrating Round him to death. And then Malfurion is going to sit there and get shot at by the towers because I don't know why. So actually, Malfurion's getting some trouble here, so let's just fire off Hyperion, which I think is always cool. It doesn't actually show it, but you know, with the big shadow and all the gunfire coming down, it's pretty cool. So that's about all we can see here. So why don't we just reset? Let's just refresh the forts, reset the levels, and let's just get this back up to 10 so we can try out the other heroic ability. So yeah, that. Why not? And we'll try Raynor's Raiders. And for some reason, when you reset the forts, it gives you a new mount that seems a little bit bugged. So I don't know what's going on about that. So let's toggle those minions. That is a little bit annoying. I hope the actual mount doesn't do that. I'm hoping this is just some sort of bug. So we'll do a Penetrating Round, and let's just fire off Raynor's Raiders there, which just gives you some nice Banshees. We'll Inspire everybody. So they help keep pushing this forward. I probably shouldn't be out in the front like this, because I am, of course, ranged. Oh, we're going to just kind of push him back a little bit. Inspire those guys again, and that's going to be it. So that is Raynor. I'm going to be doing more spotlights on all the other heroes, so if there's anyone you want to see, let me know, and maybe I'll move them up in the list. So I hope you enjoyed this look behind the heroes, and have a day.